The man who is viewed as the most reliable pro-life Democrat voice on Capitol Hill prepares to leave Congress at the end of this term. I sat down with Representative Dan Lipinski to look back and forward on his career.
I wanted to congratulate Marie Newman on her victory. I already called Ms. Newman and spoke with her.
At the peak of COVID-19 in March of this year, 8-term Congressman Dan Lipinski of Illinois lost the primary race to his NARAL-backed challenger, Marie Newman. It was not just a Lipinski loss, but a loss for the entire pro-life movement. The Catholic Congressman was an increasingly rare voice on Capitol Hill as a pro-life Democrat.
Well, I think there's no question the abortion lobby was a reason for my loss. They spent in 2018, they supported Marie Newman against me in the primary. They spent over $3 million, and this time again in 2020, they spent at least that much.
With fewer and fewer pro-life Democrats in Congress today compared to years past, Lipinski gained a reputation for bucking his party's trend and for being the most reliable pro-life Democrat vote and voice. He served as co-chair of the Congressional Pro-Life Caucus, was lead co-sponsor of the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act, and supported many pro-life pieces of legislation over the years. We sat down last month, a safe 6 feet apart, to look back and to look forward as Representative Dan Lipinski prepares to leave Congress at the end of this term. What has it been like to essentially be that sole pro-life Democrat voice on Capitol Hill?
Well, when I was first elected 16 years ago, pro-lifers were a minority in the party amongst members of Congress, but certainly there were still a good number of us, and that changed dramatically after the 2010 Affordable Care Act was passed, and then that election, 2010 and 2012 election, really saw a big decline in pro-life Democrats and has dwindled since then. And it became more and more clear that I was an outlier in the party, which clearly is not that's not easy to be in a position in the party, and it was very obvious that there are many that wanted to get rid of me, but everyone knew I wasn't going to change. And that was, I didn't run for Congress to be the pro-life Democrat. I just knew that I was pro-life. I'd always be pro-life, but that wasn't my main focus. But I became that. You never know what God has planned.
How can the pro-life movement draw in more Democrats into the movement?
The pro-life movement needs to support pro-life Democrats who want to run for office. Unfortunately, I have seen at times the pro-life movement say they can never support people in the pro-life movement say they can never support a Democrat. Now, I think that is very short-sighted. I think it's important that it does not become a one-party only supporting, elected officials, only one party supporting the pro-life position, because that makes it even easier for the Republican Party to ignore pro-life voters.
Looking back at your time in Congress, what are you the most proud of when it comes to defending life and upholding your Catholic faith?
I'm proud that I have stood strong and that others have noticed. And I think that's the thing that really came through to me in the primary in 2018, is the number of people who came up to me and thanked me for standing strong on defending life and defending religious freedom, and really trying to live my Catholic faith to the best of my ability, serving in Congress. And I think that's what I'm most proud of. And when I really noticed that people noticed me and what I was doing, and that hopefully it helped to serve for them, I helped to serve as a witness, nothing could be more important to me. And I live my Catholic faith the best that I can through prayer and really looking for guidance and praying for strength. But I know I'm not perfect. And I just, in living my life, I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm called to do. It's not extraordinary. But I realized that other people looked at me as living something extraordinary, and I guess because, I've seen it myself. I've seen others who've backed down from their belief in being pro-life and from their, changed their votes when it came to life, and would, allow their Catholic faith to maybe take a back seat to their party.
The Catholic Congressman tells me it's that message he brought with him when he gave the 2019 commencement speech to Ave Maria University graduates about carrying Christ into the public square.
Catholics do not fit neatly into either of these two. And in America, we have to choose, be a Democrat or Republican. And as I said in this commencement address, I said, I'm not going to tell you which party you need to choose, but if you really want to change the world, if you really want to live the life that we are called to live, you have to be Catholic first.
Looking forward, then, what's next for you?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I serve until, the end of January 2nd, officially. But I've spoken to had preliminary discussions with a couple of universities. I am planning on writing a book based on that commencement address, what I just spoke about the importance of being Catholic first and looking at how Catholic social teaching fits into and doesn't fit into our world today. And so I think that book's something that I'm really gonna focus on, see what other opportunities that there may be. But I really feel like I have an opportunity to, I hope, continue to reach out, especially the young Catholics, to evangelize them and help give them strength, because I think it's a very, very difficult world.
When I asked Dan Lipinski if he has any future political plans, he said he won't cross anything out, but can definitely say he'll still be involved with the pro-life movement.
I've always said I've been very supportive of these, crisis pregnancy centers, and I always say they have the toughest job in the world. They're really on the front line, and we are called in the pro-life movement to do more than just be involved politically. We need to be involved politically, but we also have a responsibility to do everything we can for women who are pregnant and may be thinking about having an abortion.
I have to ask, I imagine these past few months that this year didn't exactly go quite as expected, but as a Catholic, how have you seen God's hand in all of this?
Well, I worked harder on this campaign than anything else I've ever worked on in my life. The effort, the hours that I put into this, I worked as hard as I possibly could, and I knew it was going to be tough. I thought I was going to win. I'm not going to say I thought I would lose. I knew it was a chance I would. I didn't expect to lose. But I have to say, in all honesty, I went through one very tough night when I lost. I mean, this has been my life for 15 and a half years. It is something a lot of things I'm going to miss. But honestly, the next day people started contacting me. I started getting calls from people who were thanking me for what I did and what I stood for, and the fact that I didn't ever back down from my Catholic faith, from my pro-life views, for my support for religious liberty. And I knew I had done the right thing. And that's more important to me than anything. The last two elections, people would say to me, well, I know you're going to win because God is with you. And I would say to them, how do you know God wants me to win? Maybe he has something else in store for me, and I truly believe that. And so when I lost, well, God has something else for me. I think that I'm excited about moving forward, and I think there's so much more that I can do, and I think that there's actually more that I can accomplish for God, for the Catholic Church, in the next 2 years outside of Congress than I could have done inside of Congress.
Well, I think we'll end it on that hopeful note there. Congressman Dan Lipinski, thank you for your time.
Thank you.